Hi, my name's Christine Sermak. I spent over 25 years in administration in schools. And with me today is Jim Richards, CEO of Total Security Solutions. We're going to spend some time where he's going to share best practices of ballistically protecting our schools. So Jim, we're here at the main entrance. What things should we take into consideration?
You know, you can see that you have doors, you have a window. Inside there you have a vestibule system. So those are the obvious areas that you're going to want to secure. Those doors are going to be unlocked at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, just to let people go in and out. So you're going to want to integrate some kind of access control system. And then, you know, the priority is that you make sure that this is aesthetically pleasing. So if you're going to replace these doors and windows and add a ballistic protection, you want to make sure that whatever you put back looks very similar or the same as the existing environment.
Okay. And obviously, since this is the main entrance, is there any certain level of protection we should take into account or consider?
Yeah, and when you talk about protection, you know, we use the UL 752 rating. We typically see in an entranceway like this, the main entrance, a level 3 or a level 5 protection. And so that, you know, a level 3 protection is pretty common, and that'll stop a 44 Magnum or 12 gauge shotgun. You know, some customers choose to go to a level 5 protection, and that'll stop a small assault rifle. And that's typically what we're seeing.
So during the day, we have our main entrance will be locked, and typically there's an alternative entrance. Yeah. What's best practice here?
You know, the main best practice is to make sure that this is your only alternative entrance. And again, they keep this entrance locked at all time. They use camera with electronic communication, and they have some access control on this door. And so they buzz people in and out. And inside of this, there's typically a man trap. And what that means is there's a secondary door with some windows, so there's still another area that they have to get past to get access to the building. And so what we typically see is they'll replace this door, those windows, and the interior doors and windows to create a secure environment.
So Jim, we're inside now. There's a lot of wide open spaces such as a cafeteria. What are your recommendations for best practices for these types of areas?
So we really focus on containment. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that all the doors coming and going from the cafeteria are secure. Any open hallways like that, you want to make sure you secure that with some kind of door and window system, just so we can focus on containing and making this a secure environment.
So Jim, we have a long hallway on the other side of this door frame, our classrooms. What would you recommend to do in an area like this within the building?
Well, what they're trying to do here is they're trying to section off different areas of the building and create secure environments. And so what we would want to do is, if this was here like this one is, we would take this out and replace it with a system that's ballistic that would look exactly the same. The doors would look the same, function the same, the framing would be almost identical. If it wasn't here, we would come into an area like this and we would put something very similar to this in place to create that secure environment.
So Jim, we're at a multi-purpose room within the building. What would you do here?
You know, a multi-purpose room creates a great safe room. And so what would we want to do is we would want to replace this glass, replace the doors, and put ballistic protection in there.
Would I get the same aesthetics even with large glass areas like this?
Yep, definitely. So we would take that out, we would put either a level 3 or level 5 protection in there, and you wouldn't know the difference. Classrooms are very similar to multi-purpose rooms, so we protect them basically the same way. So we're going to protect the exterior door as you enter the classroom, and we'll protect that side light if they have a side light. And then once you get inside the classroom, it's pretty much just the exterior windows that we would protect.
So Jim, we're at another alternative entrance, like a gymnasium, a lot of windows here. What are your best practices? You
know, there's really a multitude of things that we see people doing, and it's really determined by what their preference is and what their budget is. But we'll see customers that'll take all of this out and they'll replace it with ballistic frames, ballistic doors, and ballistic glass. Or we'll see people that will just replace the lower lights of glass and the doors. And then we have some customers that'll, you know, they'll leave all the frames and they'll replace all the glass with ballistic glass and just replace the doors.
So Jim, we're on the other side of the athletic entrance. We've got a long corridor here. What are your thoughts?
You know, we really want to take a systems approach, so we're going to make sure that we create a secure area. So we would look at securing those wood core doors down there. We would take those out and replace those with a wood core door as well, and we would make that look exactly the same.
So Jim, we're outside of the athletic entrance. Obviously a lot of windows here. What are your thoughts?
You know, there is a lot of windows here, but we're really realistic when we look at these things, and we try to keep people's budgets, cost in mind. So it's really unreal to think that you're going to secure all those windows. So this is where we would probably recommend some kind of film or something like that to hold the glass to keep people from getting through them. And then we would really focus on the entryway there and making sure that's as secure as possible.
I appreciate all of your time. So we've talked about interior, exterior, any other considerations that we should make when we're thinking about protecting our schools?
You know, these are great environments, so we really want to make sure that people focus on aesthetics. Make sure that whatever they take out and whatever they replace, that it looks, very similar, if not the same as what their current environment is. That's really most important thing, plus safety and security.
Yeah. Thanks so much. As a former administrator, I know all of these decisions can be quite daunting. Don't worry, you're not alone. The ballistic experts at Total Security Solutions are just a phone call away. And if you want to do your own research, you can check us out on our educational center available on our website. Thank you.